Be really nice to them, guys. Make sure you get the water all the way around the plant. Hey guys, it's Thursday night and I have helpers. And we've been watering tonight because it is so dry here. It's Thursday night and things are growing in the greenhouse. Lots and lots. But tonight I wanted to talk to you about a few things. First of all, these kids want to say hi.
Hi.
Baylor, do you want to say hi? Baylor, do you want to say hi? Oh, I'm sorry.
My brother's watering the plants. His name is Baylor. We have talked to him. We have talked about him sometimes. And this is him right over there watering the plants. My grandma just showed you. Oh, so, hi. That's my little brother right there. Hi.
All right, so they're going to go finish watering the trees. The next couple of days, we're going to have some really high winds in the state of Utah. And the problem with winds when we're talking about gardening is that wind dries out dirt. It doesn't matter if it's in the ground, that you have an in-ground garden, or if you have raised beds or containers. So when you have big high winds, you guys have got to be really careful about watching the water and making sure that you have plenty of water and that your little plants aren't getting dried out. And it's the same thing here in the greenhouse. I have to open the doors on the greenhouse and let the wind blow through here, or if there's no wind, then I turn on the fans that we've got. And the reason I do that is because otherwise it gets too hot in here. So today I knew we were going to have a lot of wind, so I just opened both 2 doors on one end and 2 doors on the other end, and it kept the yeah, they're fighting now, so just a minute. All right, I think that we've stopped for a minute. They're not going to fight anymore. We're just going to let Baylor drown the plants. But as I was talking about the wind, oh yes, he's drowning the plants. I gotta save him. I'll be right back. Okay, Baylor has decided to go home with his mom and dad, which is probably a really good idea because he was drowning everything he was trying to water, but it's all right, he'll be back. So I started to talk to you a little bit about the wind. In the state of Utah for the next couple of days, we're going to have way high winds. And the problem when you have winds, if you are either starting plants in a greenhouse, or if you have containers and you're gardening in them, or you have raised beds, it uses more water when the wind is blowing a lot. Now, I don't know if you can hear that or not, but here where I have my greenhouse, actually where I have my house, I get a lot of wind, especially in the afternoon and especially in the summertime. And so we have to really watch the amount of water that we have in the containers that I'm gardening in and the raised beds. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about wicking, W-I-C-K-I-N-G. There is a YouTube channel that's done by Leon, the gardener, I think, or gardening with Leon is what it is. And he's an older gentleman and he is from Oklahoma. He does some really good videos on wicking tubs. And I think that if you're going to use containers, kind of like those yellow ones that I have, that they have had animal minerals and feed in them, you should probably, if you haven't planted them yet, you should make them into wicking tubs. Because what wicking tubs do, it allows you to put water into the tub rather than watering from above the plants. You're watering below them, and the soil is going to wick the water up into the plant. Now, most plants like that kind of watering the best because it keeps the roots wet, and that's where they need the water. So go in and look at Leon's wicking tub videos. He's really good at it, and he's nice to watch. He's cute. But when you use wicking tubs, you have to have milk jugs, you have to have 2-quart pop bottles, you have to have 20-ounce pop bottles, just depending on how big your container is. And so just keep that in mind, that if you're going to do something like that, you should be saving them now. Yes, Kaylee.
Hi, guys.
She kind of likes to be the center of attention. The other thing that I do right now is when I am planting my seeds, I also do a wicking to water them. And I want you to see what I mean. So right here, I'm going to show this to you first of all. You've seen these before if you garden at all, and usually they are put on top of a seed plants so that they can keep the moisture inside, so that, and also so that it's keeps them warmer. But in my case, if you'll look here, I have put them underneath the trays. And the reason I do that is so that the water can stay in them. If most trays, you can have some trays that are like that one that are solid on the bottom, but they're more expensive if you have to buy them, and a lot of different nurseries do not have them for you to take home. And if you look at these are the ones that I have bought plants in, and I just buy enough plants that I bring the tray home with me. And so you can see I've been gardening for a while because I've got a lot of stolen trays. Not stolen, I wouldn't do that. But I put the water down in here. If you can see that. Can you see that, the water in there? And what it does, all of these plants now, when you touch them, right here on the top, are moist. And that's what you want your seeds to be. You want them to keep being moist. And I only have to water them probably every third day. And you don't have to put a whole bunch in there. You just have to fill your tray about halfway up. And the thing about it is the plant will only take as much water as it needs. It will not overwater. Where sometimes if you're doing container gardening and you don't have a really good drainage system, you can overwater your plants. And if you do, then it rots the roots. And you've destroyed all those plants that you've spent so much time and effort getting to that point. So just keep that in mind. See if wicking is going to be an alternative that will work good for you. But yes, Kaylee.
This is the sound that this makes when you hit it.
Isn't she smart? So anyway, just keep that in mind that wicking is a good way to water your plants. The other thing I wanted you to do, if you have a few minutes before we start talking about fertilizing of seeds and fertilizing of plants, there is another YouTube channel called The Millennial Gardener. And he has a video. It's called The Ugly Truth About Fertilizer. I want you guys to watch that. It is really, really good. He's done a really good job putting it together, and his points are spot on. I know that most of us would love to do organic gardening. Organic gardening is wonderful. It's just usually not the most effective. And if you will just, he talks a little bit about how gardens are not normal. They're not the usual use of dirt. We don't have backyard gardens that just grow from the time of Eden. Gardeners had to come in and put them in. And so just watch that video. It's really, really good. And I think you'll learn a lot from it. And then some of the things I'm going to talk to you about when we talk about fertilizers, when we talk about the use of compost, is going to make a lot more sense to you. We have a lot of beets. And what did we find out about beets this morning?
My grandma found out that our beets are growing. Later, we'll show you on this video.
Okay, we also found out this morning when we planted the beets, they kind of got planted haphazard. And we found out this morning that you can take little tiny beet plants and little tiny carrot plants, and as long as you're really, really careful with them, you can transplant them. And so I'm not sure that we're going to do that with the carrots, because the carrots are just starting to grow, and they're growing pretty well, and they're growing in lines. The beets are just growing haphazard. They're just all over. And so if I leave them that way, they're going to get big, and they're not going to do their best potential. And so we're going to go ahead and we're going to prepare a bed, and we're going to transplant some beet plants. But we'll probably do that this weekend. Everything, again, all I can tell you is everything's growing. This morning I came in and we have a whole bunch of zucchini plants, and they're about that tall. So we're pretty excited about that. And
right now, later on this video, we'll show you our pickled beets.
I guess we'll go show you all the beet seeds right now.
I'll show you.
Okay. Oh,
These are the beet seeds. They're little, kind of, and they're sprouting.
okay.
Right here, kind of.
There, can you just get a little bit taller so they can see them? There, can you see all those beets that are growing in that pot? Look how many of them there are. And then let's walk over here. Oh, don't drop it, Kaylee.
These are all the carrots.
There's lots of carrots growing there. I don't think you can really see them because they're not really big, but I want you to know about that test that we did with the expensive carrots and with the carrots from Family Dollar. This little one is the carrots that are from Family Dollar, and I don't know if you can see them, but we've got carrots growing down there too. So we'll just show you quick. We've got lots and lots of strawberries. Kaylee is just so excited. She wants to show you the little tiny strawberries that are already growing on those plants. And then, so these are the Brussels sprouts and the cabbage. These are the summer squash and the pumpkins. Those are the tomatoes. They're a little bit longer. And then, those are the zucchini. So we've got quite a few plants that haven't put their little heads up above the ground. But we're pretty excited. Yeah, I'm always excited. That's what I say every time, isn't it? The elderberries are growing. So June, your elderberries are growing. And we will probably see you in a couple of days. Thanks for viewing. And if you like this video, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. See you later. Bye.
Bye-bye, guys.